All right, hey everybody, Jared Napolitano here, JNap, here for another episode of my series where I review interesting games of mine that hopefully serve to entertain and more importantly, serve as something hopefully helpful to new and returning players. Um, this episode, I'm going to go through either 5 or 10 of my retro event games. So the retro event 2021 Star Wars CCG retro event is an event that I was actually organizing or have been organizing. It's still going on. And it's a throwback to the Premiere to Death Star 2 format. It's 10 games. You post a table, you play a blind opponent, and then the top 8 will advance to a match play round. So as the organizer, I was still able to play in the event. I played my 10 games pretty early in April as I wanted to, frankly, get through them and start preparing for the NPC. That was took place at the end of April, so I got through my games pretty quickly in the early April, and have wanted to do this for a little while. And now, kind of capacity's freed up, and I've been able to carve out some time to do this. But not sure if I'll get through all of them. I don't want to rush, but I also don't, want to drag it out, and hopefully get through as many games as possible. So we'll start here. Um, Posted a game, and like I said in my other tournament report event recently, don't want to get too far into like planning and scheming for decks because I think that'll come out organically in describing the games. But this is the first game I put up a dark side table, and I'll hit play here as we'll review this on the Epic Duel interface of GEMP, which is the new interface. So I played this deck, this Carbon Chamber Testing Flip, which was something I never played back in the Premiere to Death Star 2 days. It wasn't really a strong deck, but I wanted to have fun with, do something a little different. I usually play a lot of Hunt Down in this format, and I didn't think I was gonna go 9-1 or 10-0. So this, and I thought that there were some, there's obviously a lot of really good players in the event. So I maybe thought going off, off meta a little bit might be a good balance of trying to do something fun, but also maybe grab some wins. So I play my opponent here, MPAC. He has Rebel Strike Team. He gives me Sergeant Brooks Carlson. And obviously the gist of this is with my any methods necessary, starting interrupt, get Fed out, Boba Fett, get some locations out, hopefully freeze the Rebel soon, and then transport him. And did a couple play testing with this, and basically the hope was just to kind of pass the frozen captive down the line using docking bay transit. So once I did hopefully freeze the Rebel, I could move him to the audience chamber pretty quickly. One thing I learned in playtesting this deck is you can't put a frozen captive on a speeder bike. Obviously, most people know that you can't transfer a non-frozen captive unless you're like out of prison, or I think binders might allow you to do it. You need certain cards to allow you to transfer, but a frozen captive you can just leave them unattended, and this happens actually not too rarely nowadays in open with a CCT Flip, which is actually a pretty good deck. So that was the frozen captive aspect. So I'm opening a hand here. Have a couple things. I don't think he's gonna throw down people and then still have the 3 force with the security tower to release. Or actually, it's not even that. He'd have to get all the way to his control phase, which I feel pretty confident with my hand that I will be able to fight off any attempt to try to free Mr. Carlson here. So take it pretty patient. The first turn I found with this deck, often it didn't make sense to just throw somebody down and guard the tower. That wasn't really needed. It was better to kind of build the hand up a little bit, especially when starting with less than normal with the any methods necessary card that only allows you to draw 6 additional cards on top of the prison and the ship and a bounty hunter and maybe even his weapon. But I wasn't using a weapon. I was using just EPP Boba Fett with rifle. So let me speed this up. Especially in the early phase here. The one thing I remember about this game is I think MPAC over deployed a little bit. And ultimately, we'll see, gives me a little bit of an opening late game to kind of pull ahead. But I have Fett and Vazan and a projective telepathy. And he's only activating 8, so I felt pretty confident, being able to try to get this freeze through, which, in these days, the destinies and the decks weren't quite as good. So I pulled my Prepare the Chamber, which I'll add to, And because I control the site and because the carbon chamber console, I need to draw 4 to successfully freeze, and I draw 1. So I'll whiff on my first attempt. Get out audience chamber. Then I go for an effect, get secret plans, which will be helpful. I guess just in general, but for verify, so look at my reserve during my control phase. But now I think about it, this period didn't have the shield is down, which is the card that allows you Rebel Strike Team to retrieve 8 force and make the opponent put their hand in their use pile. So there wasn't going to be a retrieval of 8 by light side here. I do have to lose 8 if he blows away the bunker, and he puts down a crew here. Kinsaric adds to the deploy. I'm not going to be able to fight into this, and I do draw the 4, and I do freeze on the second time, and he's got to now peel 8. So he loses some pretty key cards. APP Luke, looks like a Luke Saber, a barrier, and I have a nice little lead here at the beginning. I get Job out, I get Boelo, and I'm going to have just enough, if I recall here, to do like the human chain here of I move, I leave him unattended, pick him up, move, document transit, and get him all the way to the audience chamber and flip on my 4th turn. So kind of cool. And now I have my objective, so I'll be able to retrieve 1 a turn. I have Boelo here to cancel a Battle Destiny since he's at the audience chamber and with an alien leader. He's going to projection my drain. He goes to space. He has battle plan out. So right now I'm only going to be able to pay 3 drain for 1 here, retrieve 1, and I'm going to need to start doing some damage, or find other ways to do damage because he's now way ahead of me. He actually flips the unconventional way of not blowing up the bunker, but by instead having controlling 3 exterior Endor sites with 2 Rebel Scouts at each. Wow. And so he loses a couple cards from hand, and then I hit him with the limited resources, and then I retrieve it with my objective. So that was a play that worked out well for me. Now I got Ethan on here, just I guess reinforce and get Galet out to add to a drain. And I don't think there's any worry now that I'll lose the audience chamber. At some point I'm going to want to take this captive to the dungeon and retrieve 2 force. But he's now going to get through a decent amount of damage here since he doesn't have that restriction that the front side does of capping the force loss to just 1 at Endor locations. But he's got the system, in pretty good shape. He knows I have slave 1 from the start. He now consolidates here. I'm not positive why he did that. He might have been better off just keep pushing drains through. But maybe he was worried I had some pieces that could attack. So do some non-exciting things of retrieve and pay to drain. And he's going to be able to retrieve a scout at the end of each of his turns because of his objective. I get scum out with my objective. I got Feltapern there. I guess I feel like I was being a little overly aggressive. I guess because I didn't really have any evasion outside of a projective. I didn't have a barrier or a Gick until just this turn now. So he's down to 13 force. I'm up, but he's, I think, ahead in the damage rates of doing 1. Yeah, this is where I remember I feel like he over-deployed here. He probably didn't need Blount, I would say Blount and Tala. We got a revert here. I reverted, what did I do? Whatever it was, thank you. So again, this first game of the retro event, and looks like we're at turn 7. I'm paying a drain. I got a pretty big force pile here. The old school job allowing me to activate every time I force drain, pretty helpful. So it's really basically like paying like 2 to drain. Surprise assault would have been devastating. This is where I definitely forget that he needs to be a bounty hunter, so that I move 4 Lum over. And this makes me a little vulnerable, I guess, at the audience chamber, but then I move Feltapern out, and I feel like I need to kind of go wider to kind of catch up with him in the damage race. I draw a ton of cards. What am I doing here? Wow. Oh, and this is another card that's fun. This is a Scotland Grell card. And this also, you can't do it with a frozen captive, because when they're frozen, they don't have ability. So it's good in case maybe there's some pressure from light side at the Carbonite chamber, and maybe, especially if they're stacking with a couple mains, you can get some direct damage through. I think I had 2 of them in this deck, but it's a dead card now. I lose Monarch from hand, you are beaten from hand. I think I splashed a EPP Vader in here, just to maybe do like a hit and run since I didn't want him to suspend scum for too long. He puts a projection here, which means that Gaelid won't add to that drain. And he's got even more characters out here. He lands the Falcon, and this is huge because I have Zuckuss, I have Dansborin, I have I don't have Forlom, but I have IG88, who would add with Dans. So I think what I do here is I see that opening, since I don't think he has 7. He only has 2, 2, and that's it. So this was a play by regrets. Definitely leave like Lando up there as an ability 3 guy. Maybe land somebody else, but this opened the door for me to then actually finally go to space with Dan's and an Outer Rim Scout. So I'm only getting 1 Battle Destiny, but I'm not sure what my plan here was exactly. Maybe I didn't have enough for everybody and figured he only drew a 1, so that's huge. I don't have to lose anybody because it gets reduced to 0. And he's now down to Few Life Force, and looks like I'm going to win on this turn. Did I just peel the limited? Either way, now he deploys Wedge. He's going to do some shuffling back up, I guess. But I have the Gick worst case scenario. I have a projective if he might not be able to have enough force to do everything. I can throw IG8 up there as well, just add another Battle Destiny because Dansborin is a bounty hunter. Yeah, bounty hunter pilot adds 3. He tosses Honor. I'm getting through these, small drains. And I think that's where... Oh, I come down to IG88. Okay, so I think I tracked something. I knew I can get Chewie with a 4. Whoa. And therefore draw enough to clear. And that's Colonel Kraken, not General Kraken to add. Loses 4, she's down to 3. I'm pretty comfortable I have it. I grab the limited resources again. And that ends the game. So that was my first game. I feel pretty good about winning with CCT flip. If he held space, that would have been a lot closer. I don't know exactly how close, but all right. So my second game, I do light side, and I play against. I don't know who this person is. Zutton. I know the name, but I don't recall the name from any other point. Hold on, this happens a bunch on the new UI. Usually at the beginning, I gotta kind of skip ahead just a little bit. So this is Zutton's game 2. I'm playing Throne Room. He's playing Bring Before me. He is in the top 8. I think he might even be in the top 4, so he's going to qualify. He went 9-1, 90% 9-1. Yeah, because everyone's 9-1 or 10-0 in the top 7 in case he's hanging on in that 8th spot. And I know there's some people like Adam, Echo-Based Trooper, and COTVG. I think he's actually playing a game right now. I think he's 5-1 or 6-0 or something. So they still have a chance maybe to take that last spot. So I have an interesting hand here in that, and my approach, which I probably regret. I think I was definitely fretting some short-term gains here that ultimately led me to lose the game. But I figured, I got a spy, and I got somebody else I can put with him that I can draw Battle Destiny, and I can get my nudge out, and he's only activating 4. He can't get Emperor there now, and he can't utilize Emperor's power. I was feeling pretty good about that, but basically the story of this game is me going here and then paying 3 to drain much times. I did get some damage too, but eventually he's able to stabilize and really shut me down. And as he gets Emperor out and Janus and Battle Order to make me pay for the drain, he's getting extra activation with mobilization points. And I'm like really choked. Like I'm definitely should have tried to find some Twixes, especially one of these first couple turns. But I think I was just in the mindset of like, let me just keep trying to chip away. But I have 46 cards down. He's got 38, 37. This is going to be a long game. I don't know if draining for 2 at a non-battleground is going to be a long-term solution, especially when I'm only activating 7 now. He pulls a card. He gets Vader out, which means I now have to get Luke out. And I don't have any battlegrounds to put him at. So I had to give him up. I guess I could have maybe put him here and tried to fight somebody, and then he would have a hard time getting Vader over there. I don't even know how he would do it. Maybe he could Ellis, but I don't think he's got Ellis if he's got IAO. So that would have been interesting if I put Luke there and killed the nudge. Maybe that would have been smart. But maybe not, because here comes Mara as a spy, the OG Mara. She's going to kill the nudge, get an icon back, and threaten a drain of 3, which is bad. Be offset a little bit by this loss of 1 with the 7 side. But now he's got Janus and Emperor, so Janus will add a drain. Janus Grija is a great card in this format, especially since Emperor was pretty new and just really, really strong. So, again, so I'm just going to keep paying a drain. He's got a big hand of 13 cards. I'm still only activating 7. Don't find any Twixes. I don't think it's going to be a very exciting game. This gets pretty brutal, if I recall correctly. I have, dead. Luke is useless. I have Obi and Jerome and Wedge. A lot of forfeit there. He gets another battleground out. He satisfies battle order. And he's doing pretty good now, threatening 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage. And not paying for it. I'm paying 3 to drain for 2. He barriers Obi, which is big. I can mitigate this damage a little bit. Got proficiency to add 3 to power in battle. Not sure if that was a great move. Just trying to, because I don't have a Hujik, so I'm hoping not to get overflowed if he reinforces Mari here. But, I still have 40 cards down. He's only got, 22, but he's got a few more in hand, and he's definitely got much better board state here. And he's cycling cards, and he's got Search and Destroy now, so this will be big. Once he gets rid of Obi, who has no immunity. First strike, yeah, this is bad. So then, he hits one or captures one of these characters, draws a Battle of Destiny. I have to stack a card, and I got to lose Blount. And it looks like, then he gets another swing with first strike. And this is basically end of game. I only have a couple scrubby characters here. He's got weapons or full immunity or space options. I think I actually try to go to space, or I do go to space maybe. I'm going to have, 9? So that's 3, 5, 7. So it looks like I'm going to attack space here. He doesn't have a barrier, or he didn't even have a force. And Jerome will subtract 1 because he's with the leader, General Calrissian. I draw 2, draws a 1. I'm fully immune because the OG Falcon's immune with Lando. So that's cool. I have space. I can pay 3 to drain for 1. But at this small victory, again, I'm still way behind you. Now, I have a tunnel vision. Hopefully that'll help me find a Twix. But even that, so now he's got Vader. He's hitting me with Search and Destroy. This is not a good trend for me. I play tunnel vision. He senses. I think some of these bring up before me's in this format are like 6, 7 senses. They're crazy. He alters, and everything's kind of just falling apart here for me. Draw a bunch. I finally get a Twix. I have a sense that's pretty useless. A Tawz and a Brombers. What's this card right here? Control. And then he senses it. And then, so this is bad. This is already on 3x, but this is going to end very shortly. Yeah, okay. So I can see out of options. Bring It Before Me is pretty rough in this format. Unless, My Way You Have Learned is really cool because it adds 4 to the sense alter draws, which makes it possible that not all your stuff gets sensed. But so let's see. What are the rest of a retro event? I don't think I skipped one here, right? I played some Coruscant League games, Wada's Objective, and then it looks like I cranked out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 straight games. Okay. All right, so now I played Chris Kelly. Design advocate Chris Kelly, not the most familiar, or comfortable, or loving of this format. I think he was playing the Mike Gems deck with the speeders and TIG. And this was interesting interaction that I had to look in the rulebook for this, but I flipped my objective immediately because the only rebels in his deck are Bosch, who I guess because she can't deploy as an undercover spy if she's being captured, isn't eligible. And Luke, even though they reveal their objective second technically, there's a special AR advanced rulebook entry that protects Luke from being the captive. So there's only 2 rebels who are both ineligible for being my prisoner here. So I flipped automatically, which is weird. Kind of cool that I'm going to retrieve 1 every single turn. He doesn't have aim high out. Let me speed this up as the game goes along. He, no shields like Coward or Battle Order. So he's going to get that drain of 1 through. Move over. Gets his activation out. He's activating 11. I'm at 7, so I need some force. I got Brangus. Handful of red. Wow. I think he plays a handful of the signals. That was another thing that kind of came back. That was a neat thing about this format to kind of be nostalgic. I don't know about nostalgic, but recall, definitely me being nostalgic, not everybody, but recalling kind of the common cards that we don't see quite as often nowadays. So he gets an Asteroid out, which is one of my favorite cards. He can flip. I think, can he flip vehicles too? Let me pause this. I know you can flip devices and weapons. Non-creature vehicle on top of reserve deck. So you can put like a Destiny 1 in reserve with these sand speeders, which that probably has some value. But yeah, you probably don't want to do that too often. All right, so hold on. So no battle order out. I'm going to get a drain through here. I have no one to carbon freeze. There I was going to try is helpful. What do I go grab? I go grab Secret Plans. Deploy that. I think, yeah, so I got 2 Maras, which are big. And I think I hit them with the Monarch, which, oh, I forgot I did this. After I got him at Worlds for, I think 3. I think maybe like 2 Jedi Lukes. Maybe it was 3. And that was either game 8. Yeah, I think it was game 8. Or just day 2 of Worlds. I got him for a bunch. So here comes Bosch to block the drain. Asteroid. Looks like he's at the dungeon, but I don't think he's actually at the dungeon. Oh, maybe he is. Oh, wow, this is weird. So yeah, so because I'm flipped, I can't pull my audience chamber out, which is a pain. But Mara here, which, yeah, I think I don't want to subject her to a possible beatdown from sand speeders, so I keep her inside. This is going to be a dead card because I'm not going to have a captive. I got a Vazin, Mara, Monarch. I think, I don't know if he auto or if he rage quits when I play Monarch used or lost. I think I do it lost and get a bunch of sand speeders. And he just, not happy. Not happy. I like these white border cards. So he moves Luke out and figures he'll start getting some direct damage through. Since it's not Vader escorting him, which is 2 a turn. I grabbed the signal. I think that might be the 3rd time he played it. Was tired of seeing it, and now he's basically got a lot of effects out. A drain of 1, a drain of 1. I play Monarch lost, and I get, okay, hold on, 1, 2, 3 X-Wings, 2 organized attacks, 2 snow speeders, and 2 rebel snow speeders. Oh boy, so that was huge. So I think he might still be at board state though. I'm doing nothing here, and I could drain for 2 here, but I'm also taking 2 direct damage. So we're even on life force. And he actually, or I take that back. Drain 2. Okay, so now I can threaten a drain of 3. He concedes. So yeah, so I guess this is a net of a retrieve 1, whatever the math is. And given his hand, as I just saw it, I'm sure another income corporation. So that was a win. So I moved to 2 and 1 in the event. Let's go to the next game. So I played back-to-back games against Justin Desai. So these, and they're both not pretty close. So yeah, these will be good. So these will probably take the longest of any of the events. So yeah, he is 10-0. There's a bounty on him. He did not allow anyone to beat him. So as makes sense, he was the runner-up with the retro event, 12 years ago in 2009. He's obviously, everyone knows, 2-time world champion. Definitely one of the 3 to 5 best players ever to play this game, I would say, in my opinion. People can make a different list, but I would say that, Chu, Bastion, Emil. I don't really know much about Kevin Shannon. I just know he won 2 worlds, but he hasn't played since I really came back. Well, he played, way back in the day when I was playing, but I never went to big majors like that. But obviously, lots of really good players, and but he's on the shortest of lists. So he gets Blount out to capitalize off of staging areas. So Hunt Down is throwing him, classic matchup. We still see this a lot nowadays. I have Vader, so I feel pretty good here. I got the It's Worse, I got the Force Lightning. I don't know if he's going to play it. It could be worse than throwing him. That's usually... It's weird. It could be worse. It's such a better card when you could cycle it, like with Myrax and Watch Your Step nowadays, which obviously isn't in Premier Death Star 2. He's got Honor out, so this is where I'm going to end up taking Visage damage, and he is not even, or at least until I can get a little stabilized here. So it's his turn 2. He gets more activation out. But yeah, with Myrax and 3PO and Vanden Willard and V and no idea. We could cycle that card, it's so much more powerful. Otherwise, it's play it once and you might never get it back, and it's probably going to get grabbed anyway. Alright, so I continue to lose. I wonder what my thinking is here with not deploying. It's my turn 2. I guess I didn't have enough for turn 1. So this turn I'm going to put Vader and a Saber out. Resistance, more so for the insert drain or insert protection than actually capping drains. But I do have 3 battlegrounds. I think I have 4 actually in this Hunt Down. I played Hunt Down a lot in Premier Death Star 2. I think my record has been really good, but a lot of that was casual games way back. I played Premier Death Star 2 a lot more back in 2017 when I first started playing on Gem. And more recently have not. And this whole event idea kind of came to light middle of last year, August, and then just a bunch of other things going on. So eventually I was like, you know what, this probably makes sense for 2021. And just given, how familiar I've gotten with just how things work, like how Gem Leagues work and how to communicate with the forums and prize support and getting sponsorship from PC. And obviously now it's a lot easier since I'm the marketing advocate. But, this idea came up back in August. And I think it really kind of had a unique, what's the word? I don't want to say value proposition, but just a unique angle of getting people involved that might not traditionally be involved, or offering a competitive event with legit prizes that's free and also in an alt format. So I'll stop babbling about that. As he gets Luke out now, deploys in -3 to the home on docking bay. I think I expect him to transit somewhere, but he's not going to just move in front of me knowing I could have other stuff, and he doesn't. Have a weapon to hit Vader. He's got 11 cards in hand. I have 9. And I'll consider, I think I'm feeling pretty good here. I got another Vader in my hand in case. I got a force field to protect from a weapon. I think what I'll do is, I think I reinforce with Emperor, just to make sure I don't lose this battleground, because there might not be a lot of others that come out. Secret Plans. Secret Plans is helpful in this format. You get the control phase verifies. Alright, so yeah, I put Emperor out, draw a couple cards. Both have 9 cards in hand. 34 about the same. So we're pretty even here. I feel a little better about board state, but he's still got Honor out, and there is no escape in this format. So that came out in Worlds. In the pre-event, it was tested in October of 2000. He comes out the docking bay to Rendili. Akbar deploys -2 to home 1. The first order Thanispi, so that's the fish package here with, I think he might have Hashin as well. Hashin prevents lateral damage. You got Gunite, which is going to make all of my characters of ability greater than 2, deploy +2. Right now I just got a couple extra Vaders and an Officer Evacs in my hand. He's going to move the battleground. And now I'm going to be losing from Visage, and he is not. So again, this is game 4. I'm 2-1. Just as a recap, these are games at the beginning of April of 2021. I lose. I have JNap from reserve deck. Let me speed this up. I used to like to play like a mix of Vaders, like 2 D-Lots and 2 Lords, and 1 OG. 5, I think, is the number. I think in testing, sometimes I do 4, and I'd be kicking myself. Dusties and these decks are pretty low, but all right. So it's the start of his turn 5. He's gonna play Tunnel Vision. He's got a big force pile here to pick from. Denise P comes into home run, War Room, and obviously he plays this like perfectly. He just was patient at the beginning. He's gonna take my system, put all these guys on it. He's got Obi-Wan backing up Luke. He's got 2 Jedi there, so it's gonna be really hard for me to flip back. And I'm just the best damage has been doing has been my own Visage, and now he's in good shape to drain me for 1 and 2 while I only drain for 2. I convert the docking bay, which I guess has some value in that I don't have a floating 0. Mara Saber, Sim deploys Normally -3. 5 -3, but +2 for Gunite. I move Vader over. So now that I have two drains of 2. So that, I guess, I'm losing 1 turn, or 2 force a cycle from Visage, and paying 6 to drain for 4, while he drains for 3 for free. So he's definitely got board state now. I think that's what happens. At some point I realized, look, I got to try to change the trajectory somehow. Flagship Executor with, Officer Evacs and maybe some more fodder somehow. That's not going to compete with the home one here, which I wouldn't even draw Battle Destiny, right? He's like Zuckuss, yeah. So Evacs on the ability 3 Flagship Executor. Yeah, I would 0. So the Nisbe's a pretty cool card. You don't see him too much in open. I play Voyeur. He goes to Sense It. Successful with a 0. That's a bummer for me. I don't know what I was trying to grab or trying to call out, but at this point, I think I'm pretty certain I'm going to lose the game. Actually, the second game was the one that was a little more exciting because I was, well, at one point it was exciting, but then he, so I played Monarch, used to remove some cards. Might have actually helped him more. Second game I'm up really big, and then eventually I lose. It's pretty close. So now I have 14 cards in my hand, 14 cards face down. Finally get some like characters and blue cards, but I think it's going to be too late for me to really do anything. Launching the Assault's now going to add 1 to Force Drain. Further reinforces here with Han. There's just no way I'm cutting through this, and it's going to be really, really, really hard for me to get rid of Luke and Obi. And even if I do, he probably has another one. Yeah, I'm positive he's got another one of each of them. And definitely one in his hand. So I'm on 3x here. This is going to get towards the end and be done. And we'll be through 4 games in 35 minutes, we'll say. So and the other reason I want to do this report, we have tons and tons of tournament reports and coverage of open games, but we have very, very few on Premier Death Star 2. So hopefully, folks that like this format, find some entertainment. And like I said, if you're a new or returning player, hopefully there's a couple tips and things that I did that were bad, don't do, and vice versa. This is obviously just a pro play here of him putting Jerome Webb at the meditation chamber, and he has no reason to cancel Visage at this point while I'm losing to it and he isn't. And eventually I finally get to 3 battlegrounds, so I can then make him, or we're both losing, but he comes out the Marco. I have a Gick. He did a great job of, I think he knew after the game ended, he's like, you have limited? And I was like, yeah, if I had it like most of the game. So he played around that perfectly. Because here I could have played it for 2. Now that I'm finally on 3 battlegrounds I should have played it there for 2, but I wanted to be greedy and try to get him to. I think I figured that might be my Hail Mary is if I catch him with 2 cards in hand on my turn while I'm on 3 battlegrounds. Maybe I can swing the game. So actually, this gets pretty close. He's at 8 and I'm at 10, but he's got a cycle of damage here. And I think, yeah, he's going to get 3 Battle Destiny. He doesn't battle. He finally moves over to cancel Visage now that he's also losing to it. And he played that perfectly around the limited resources, and he played the way he went to the Executor right. And I lose a pretty close game. I thought this one was a little further. But, back in this format, which is a really interesting thing to think about as I navigate, all these games and competitive events were all like differential. Whereas we're playing this event in SOS, and you almost wonder like the cards and mechanics were designed with, I guess, differential in mind. And now that we've moved to SOS, where it's like, some decks that might win a lot of close games have a little more value than they used to, or that style. And this event is SOS. So that's interesting. Just kind of the thinking there. So I'm playing Prophet. He's playing Hunt Down now with. Are those the same 3 effects that I had? Maybe. Definitely mod points and IAO. I'm not sure if I played Crush. I can't even remember. So he starts Mara and a Vazan. Let me speed this up as we get set up here. So I have 2 Lukes in hand. I got a Twix. I got a Tunnel Vision. This is a pretty decent hand. But he's got Bad Feeling of Eye, which, fun fact, if you flip Prophet, it suspends it. Doesn't really come up too much in open now because Bad Feeling of Eye is shielded. So it's usually as a dead card unless you're playing like a shield busting deck. I get Honor out, which prevents me from losing, similar to what he did to me, getting Honor out early in the game. Gets a Docking Bay, gets Vader out to poison for 6. And then, yeah, so this is what you would see once he... And this was careless of me. Was it careless? I guess maybe I should have waited to deploy Honor until I was on a battleground, because yeah, sometimes you see Hunt down and you're like, oh, he's not playing any senses or alters. He's got to add 4. Why would he ever do that? But there are a lot of decks at this time that didn't play Luke, like X-Wing or X-Wing EBO, or I shouldn't say a lot. Some decks, EBO or Hidden Base Swarm. So Hunt down could conceivably be on its 7 side and be able to play some sense and alters for some key stuff like altering Honor early. So that was a big mistake that I wouldn't do again in this position. I'd wait till better to lose, especially since I'm going to be able to get cards back if I do what I'm planning to do and release Han, release my ability 3 Han, and get 10 cards back. He doesn't have Secret Plans or Coward, so that's really helpful. That I could have been patient, so that was a misplay. He plays Projective, maybe use some Force. So this game is pretty wild. Once I do free Han, I think I'm at like 40 cards face down, and he's at like 18. I think that's what the comments were after the game, and he eventually came back. So Barrier's big. I have Leia down. Get a Grabber, which will deploy for free because of Wise Advice. I have 2 Lukes in my hand. Chewie Lando. He's activating 12. Coward's big, so now he pulls Coward. And most people know this right off the top of their head, but the Coward effect, Darkseid doesn't even have to be on one. I guess I did that before I allowed him the chance. Yeah, I guess I must have just said, hey, I got to free him with someone who loves you before he deploys Coward. So yeah, I did that during his control phase. So that was a good play. So I didn't do that, I wouldn't be able to do it. But now he's going to come down to battle. First strike, 4 Lom. I'm going to get 2 Destinies and be able to bounce somebody. Weapon Lev's big. So Weapon Lev in this format, like there's no shield for it like there is now. And against like Hunt Down, you can't really sense it. And it can be a pretty big blowout card, which is why it's shielded, because blowout cards sometimes make for no fun. So and I'm pretty sure his deck had like very, very few characters, lots of really high Destiny interrupts. At one point there was like, gotta verify, which I think we'll see, like just super high Destiny, which is pretty neat. So Han's gone because killed. I flip back. Bad Feeling of Eye turns back on. He moves Mara out. And yeah, so look, I'm at 40. He's at 19 down. He's got 4 more cards in hand. So I have a big lead, but he's not doing anything because of Coward. She can't drain or ping because the Han's dead. I'm going to put Luke down. This was, I think, a gamble on my part. I think I just had to... If I didn't draw 4 here, that would have been bad. But I think I just didn't have much else going for me. I could have just drawn a bunch, but then I would have eaten 5 damage. So I guess I must have just said, hey, let me go for it. So I got fortunate to draw the 4. Eliminate Mara, save myself 3. I guess between the first strike swing and stopping that drain of 3, it was definitely a gamble. But so now it's even more. I got 41, but that was a risk I think I had to take there. But now I have like no new cards in my hand, and Leia's just out here. I think this is where I maybe started to realize, he doesn't have a ton of characters, so maybe Leia will be okay. But this was big of him to put Janice out, another first strike swing, and enables him to put Visage down at a later point if he would like. He goes to 13 cards in hand. I don't know if I had Grimtosh in this deck, but this is game 5. I'm now 2-2. Let me speed this up. So I got the Docking Bay out. I might have forgotten to do that one of the earlier turns, and now I just need to draw to find some answers. Draw 3 Twixes. I think I'm at the point now where I think I throw away one of them, because by the time I'm able to realize and reap the rewards of it, so it's probably better off for me to just toss one away, deploy 2, and then the next turn I'll be able to get it. So he does on Simalu. I miss. I play Smokescreen to make sure I break his immunity of less than 4, and then he doesn't stay there. Or actually, probably wouldn't stay there. He'd probably move out to Jobs Palace and then threaten another drain at 2, which would have been bad. So I definitely didn't want him to do that. So now he's at 13 cards down. I'm at 30. So like he's got like double the hand size that I have. And again, I need to draw to find stuff. So I draw to 11, 12. I just keep going looking for characters. So I found my second Han, which is big. But he just keep pumping through these drains of 2. Search and Destroy is going to come out. Even if he just gets 1 ping added, it pays for itself. He's got a Loan of Oz in there, which just screams he's got a barrier, or at the very worst a Gick, and then he can counterbeat into me. Get a first strike swing, so I get Han out to play him first to make sure that Bad Feeling of Eyes is suspended, so I can get more mains out like Ben Kenobi, Bomar Monk. So I'm threatening at 2. Ping of 1, I grab his Twi'lek. After the last game when I grabbed, what was that, Chris Kelly's The Signal? Yeah, the Signal and Twi'lek were big cards. So he's got Ku out here, which means that we're probably not going any space, so I toss the Landing Claw. Control? Did I control his drain? Save myself a force. And Emperor coming out here to put more pressure on with the drains is big. I really just have Lando and Chewie, and he can zap one of them, which would mean I'm, don't have much of a benefit in battling. But so I guess I go after Evolves, and must be what I do. Yeah, so he barriers, and then I go down with Chewie, and he's got the second barrier. Oh, that could be so crushing. There's so many games where the double barrier just swings so many games. So it would have been better in retrospect. Although he probably would have saved more. I was gonna say to grab the barrier with my push on us, but he probably does things differently if I don't grab that, knowing that I could grab it and then the barrier might not be able to go through by him. So he's now got 2 drains of 2. I don't have any real fighting forces here. I just have the barrier run. He's gonna move Vader there, which means that Search and Choice cancels because Emperor is Destiny greater than 4. But probably not going to be an issue later in the game. So no battle order, no battle plan out. So I'll be able to get drains through, and he's really cut down, on my lead. And this projective to keep just choking me to pay for stuff like that is big. Although it's not like I'm going to be doing much else this turn. So I projection that drain. The Baragwin, so I can hopefully start fetching back some weapons. Especially since I'll be able to. Wow, so I use 7 force to transit. Whoa. I have never done that before. I don't think I wanted to. I don't know what I did. Wow. Well, that's really cool. But I don't really know exactly what I did. So, so I paid a hefty amount to document transit away. He's got a 6 in his reserve. He comes down with Mara. Maybe he'll be able to kill Chewie. There's also a Lando there, so I'll be able to ping for 2 with my objective. I think I'm trying to get this Baragwin thing going so I can extend the game. I don't draw enough. If I could have drawn more to kill Mara there, that would have been helpful. I don't know if that swings the game, because, again, he just moves Vader to in front of Lando. No, only have 4 cards in hand, not a ton to work with. He tosses an extra Vader. It's worse. Draw the fire. I guess I just suicide Lando, figuring that at some point, especially with the first strike out, 4 card swing here, at some point, I'm going to be on the wrong side of this. So, I can't run away here. He's just going to battle into me. I don't want that. So I just suicide Lando, take the first strike, draw the fire, 4 card swing, call it a day. And he's now at 6 and 6 is 12. I'm at 16. He's going to get drains of 1, 1, 2. I draw a bunch. Not sure what I was looking for exactly. Maybe like a control. Or, and it could be worse. I think we saw it. It's worse. Get topped off the reserve deck. He's got Janice here just to get a little drain of 1 through. That's annoying. Just like open, my home on document often gets. He's able to alter projection with the Gick, which of course I think, he definitely set that up with Janice. So that's not like luck or anything. Obviously that's skill. So that's big to give her my projection. I go to alter Bad Feeling. maybe more so to even cycle the altar, because, or maybe it'll help me get Luke out. Oh, okay, so I see what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to throw down Luke for only to play 5. Get the 4-card swing here against Janice. Fetch a card. Oh, wow. Oh, so I get a drain of foot juice. Yeah, I think I made a big misplay by not doing that the turn before. I think I could have done it the turn before and get the proficiency in Obi Saber, and that would have been extra 2 damage. That, this is really close. So I get him to bait. I bait out the barrier with Jerome, and then I will put Luke down. I have just enough to battle. He doesn't have secret plans out, but he does have cowards. So I don't retrieve. He draws a 4. Luke is immune. Battles a tie. And then, yeah, he's going to get 2-2-1. And I think he's going to be able to basically finish me off here by suiciding Janice. Although, no, he tossed the Gick, I think, at one point. So I think he had to be careful. I think we'll see what happens here. So he's got shuttle. Okay, so he does suicide Janice in there. I have to peel. I'm now down to 1 card left. And he's got to peel 2 battle damage. And I'm going to get a round of damage through here. But it's not going to be it's going to be, I think, wow, I lose by 2? That would oh, no, he's got projective to win. Okay. So I concede. Yeah, so I think it would have been obviously it would have been huge if I get the extra 2 through. Because, maybe he doesn't find the projective then. But yeah, so he wins. We'll call it by 5. But yeah, that was a fun close. Well, I keep saying fun. It wasn't fun because I lost, but it was a pretty wild game. All right, so now I'm at 2 and 3. Now I play against Yard 5 in my 6th game. Let's start this guy up. And I think I stick with Prophet. Yes, and he plays Court. All right, so Joker King's in the chat. Perfect for him. So Prophet versus Court, he's got Abyss and Mob Points and IAO. I get 2 Twixes and Tunnel Vision, so that's good. And a Ben Kenobi. So I'm going to not be force choked, it looks like. And I can get Honor out with Insight. And he gets Zuckus to start pressuring. I think this, let me speed this up. So he's going to leave Mara Vaz. I'm only activating 6. He doesn't have too much to worry about. Although, Tunnel Vision. For Tunnel Vision, is that what I did? Yeah, so sometimes with this format, taking that gamble on the Tunnel Vision was only 5 or 6 in there. Not ideal. I don't want to give away a Verify that early, so I'm just not positive what's in the force pile. Like, it can backfire. So lots of Tatooine sites. This is bad for me in that there's no non-Tatooine battleground site on the table, so it means I'm going to have to get through Audience Chamber. He's got a DS612. I Tunnel Vision into Master Luke, and I got Ben Kenobi and an Anakin's. I think I'm afraid to put Anakin's just to have it go lost immediately. He swings at Mara. We got to react with Zuckus. He draws a double 1 and misses. Draws a 6. This is some rescue, which, quick plug, that card's fun because it talks about Ewok rescue, which was discussed on Kendall's recent podcast with Jerry Darcy. There's a great podcast. Go to Bad Deck Breakdowns. You can Google it. Look on, I listen through Apple Podcast and I subscribe. So I get new episodes. Kendall does a great, and Matt too, at CRG, with the Bad Deck Breakdowns. But Kendall also did these World Championship Series interviews, which are awesome. Joe Olson one came out this week. He's done Justin Desai, Emil, Bastion, Brian Hunter. Lots of great interviews. Johnny Chu, of course. So I'm able to get through that battle and just revive and get through it. But he talked about that Ewok rescue, broken link, I think is what the phrase was. So that's cool. So he's now drains with Jabba. Did he activate? He probably should have, right? Yeah, it's like the immediate action. Anytime you drain with... Oh, that's only when he's at the Audience Chamber. You get to activate. Yeah. All right, so he's going to stack the AC. Now I'm going to put the lightsaber out. I'm proficiency. I guess I figure... I don't know what I'm doing. I really don't want to have those things go lost. The proficiency and the Anakin's. If Mara hits. So maybe I took a gamble there. I did want to get counter beat, looks like. Even though I do have a Hujix. I just need to replenish my hand. So I got all sorts of tricks now. I got Vader comes down, very surprising. Definitely want to barrier him. So I have Clash. I have Sorry About the Mess, which I can play during my control phase. Who do I clash? Mara. Okay, so I don't have to worry about getting hit. He deploys Emperor, and everyone else just sticks around. So what my plan here is, I can maybe try to mess somebody. I could put down Lando. Go for a Bazin. That's an easiest guy to hit. And I don't have to worry about, how do I clash? I clash. Oh yeah, I don't want to get hit by Vader. Mars clashed. Vader was barriered. Swing and miss with a 0-2. He draws a 3-1, misses Ben, which is huge. I shoot with Lando, and I hit Jabba. Draw 5 to bounce Zuckuss, which is kind of big. And now he's looking at some overflow here. Let me slow this down. This is out of control. So I lose Melas. And do I just revive? He's now peeling a bunch of extra cards. Battle ends, bring back Melas. He's at 29 cards face down. I'm at 26. A couple more in hand. Feeling pretty good about this. He'll be able to get Drain 2 through, and now once I am able to release Han, I'm not going to be able to retrieve my entire lost pile. But once I do that, I think I take pretty good control of this game. I got control. I think I could have played the control. Yeah, it would have been better for me to. Whoa. So more people here. Tonica Sisters, nice. Lieutenant Commander Arden. And then he just passes the turn. I guess doesn't want to get counterbeat, but this isn't good because now I got Chewie. I got Smokescreen, which is big. I think I'm able to clear all these people. Her forfeit's terrible. She's only forfeit 2, I'm pretty sure. So I'm slicing people. He draws that same 1-1 that he drew with that earlier battle. Tonic Sisters hit by Lando. Blunt, Smokescreen. He draws a 5, which is big, which means I'm just going to have to lose and revive Lando instead of Melas. And he's looking at 4. Was it 2 overflow? Yeah, Zuckuss gets the +2. So 2 overflow. Now I don't release Han. Okay, there we go. Get my 10 back. And this might be a quick concede after this. Coming up on 55 minutes, and we're going to be through 6 games. Okay, I think we're going to do all 10 then. That's good. I wasn't sure if this is going to drag out going through all the different games, but I think this is good. Sometimes these games in this format go faster than normal. Sometimes they go slower. Without the shields, a lot of times stuff leaves the table. Forces are lost. Forces are lost. A lot easier than they are nowadays when you have shields and battle plans sometimes to slow things down. But then sometimes you can get some really grindy games like Throne Room versus ROPS. Like there's not a lot of damage done either way. All right, so I get Honor out, which I'm not sure what I was going for there, but he maybe for the Abyss. Projection, ping, I got a whole party here. I'm going to be able to retrieve stuff. He doesn't have Coward. This is going to deteriorate against Yard and in my favor. So now I'm at 3-3. This was one of the most fun games. This is probably one of the 3 or 4 most fun games of my 10, I would say. So again, Steve Izzo, Steve Skilton, the creator of the limited resources format, which is, mostly premiered at Death Star 2 with then some more classic cards from later sets. It's been through a couple rounds of updates. Hopefully that goes through another one. It's just kind of tricky because he's trying to thread the needle of account for the worst Decipher things, but also still have it kind of be in that Decipher era. And there's been a lot of strategies that over time that the PC has done a good job of making the game more interactive and making you lose less by blowouts or randomness and little. Some people say this format involves more skill. It does in some ways, and then some other ways I think it involves less it's more subject to randomness. I'll put it that way. You can just get a bad matchup with some pretty cheesy cards, and like there's counters. It's just, did you find your counter? Did you have access to it? But regardless, so I stuck with Prophet against ROPS. This format, I kind of like Prophet against ROPS right now because the direct damage is big, and I'm going to itch on my back. But the direct damage, there's no Decree V here to reduce the drains. There's no easy access to an interior site like nowadays. Like I was running Cantina in here, which would be good to make sure those walkers don't come after me. That ROPS would often have, the big blue walkers. Let's see, I pick up and it could be worse. A sense. I got 2 Ben Kenobis. Pretty good hand here. Anakin's lightsaber, Luke. I don't know what my plan here is. Maybe my plan was just to start getting damage to it as soon as possible. I got barrier, I got smoke screen, so maybe I'm almost like trying to bait an attack from him and then hit back. Alright, so he gets at the forest. Pretty neat. Diamond Sight, that all Imperials, actually not even all Imperials, all characters are immune to attrition. Major Burst comes out, he's got eye roll over there, so a Trooper, I think, do I not have a Hujix? Yeah, that was kind of a ballsy play, because this, I think he, as I see, he's got tactical supports and Trooper assaults, and he could get a beat down through pretty quickly. So yeah, so I guess, figure that the better strategy here is to start getting my damage through before he flips and starts reducing it. So yes, I'll get a drain of, or a damage, 3 damage through here, put it that way. He's definitely baiting me into something here with a barrier or you name it. I'm not going to fall for it. Like, I'm not going to attack. At least I hope I don't. I don't want to attack there until I start getting Hujix or some other tricks. Having the backup Han in hand is big. Sense for any reacts. Let's speed this up. He loses a Biker Scout Trooper. I'm just going to replenish up to 12 cards in hand, 37. Pretty even here. I think he flipped a lot later than I was expecting him to, but again, he probably was looking for me to kind of walk into something. So here you have tactical support. Corporal Jalozen, who adds a Battle Destiny with eye roll, if I recall correctly. I got Ben Kenobi here to make sure Han doesn't really go away, even though he's adding a bunch to his Battle Destiny with the flipped objective. I got 2 lightsabers here, so now that'll still be a drain of 2, even with Rops flipped, and I'm pinging for 1. So we're both doing 3 damage. So, and I don't know. I guess I think like long term, this favors me. He's got Vader on his shuttle in space to get another damage through. No battle plan or order out yet, though. So yeah, I think I think this game was pretty close for a while. All right, so I got the Baragwin, so I can start. Oh, Anakin's. Wow, so I have Anakin's, Luke's, and Obi's. All right, so so now I can get a lot of damage. This is kind of the, with Prophet, with lightsabers and no Decree V. This is now going to be a drain of 1, 2. Well, he's reducing. So duh. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to do damage of 5. He's doing 4. Plus I get this Baragwin retrieval. So I feel like I'm kind of up in the race. He's got 11, and we both have 11 cards in hand. He gets upload any card he wants. He gets Zuckuss. And yeah, this is big. So then he really changes the trajectory of the game now with Zuckuss. He's spreading out, so he's got barriers, probably a Gick. He's wide here on route here. And now he's threatening some direct damage with ability. So now, that was a big turn for him. Decree takes away my bonuses, and then Brops kicks in and makes it -1. So I'm only just pinging my objective. So he's definitely now in the lead. I got to do something. So I get Cantina. I'm going to take away one of his drains with projection. And I'm going to just stick Melos there. I don't think I was playing to battle anyway. I think I was, I don't want to battle and allow him to have some things that he can react with. Maybe like a Tempest Scout 6 or something like that. Draw a bunch of cards. Landing Claw is not going to be helpful for attaching, but it will be helpful for the Baragwin tricks. I have Lando, and that's my only persona that's not on the table already. But I will ping for 3 with my objective, and I'll get drains of 2, 1, 1. No battle order out. It's big because I can get these little small drains through and not worry about. So he plays Monarch Loss. It's a whiff. That was a big 4/4. So you get the evacs in here. First strike. Oh, what do I do here? This is So he gets his Monarch back. I guess he was. Oh, he gets Wallen down, but then I bury the Wallen. Oh, nice play, Jared. So that was big. So now he's gonna get he's gonna be in some trouble for a battle he initiated. I have just enough to hit evacs. I draw 2, and now he's looking at 6 overflow unless he kicks. So this was smart of him though, because he did not. As I found out, I'm pretty sure he had a kick in hand and didn't use it, figuring he would need it for the counter beat on Wallen here. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's what happened. So he draws Destiny. I draw Destiny. I am looking at, looks like 5 overflow. So I play could be worse. Oh, to get rid of all the overflow. Yeah, that was also a nice play. I had to pay the extra force for first strike. But now I'm at 21. He's at 12 down. A couple more cards in hand, and Sergeant Wallen is about to get beat. I wonder if I'm pretty sure that he had the kick, and that because he knew there was a counter beat coming. So I don't think he drew into that. So I ping for 3. Lando comes down. I'm just making sure he doesn't. That's why I don't use my smoke screen in this battle. So I think I'm either he has the gick and we're gonna fight another day, or he doesn't. Either way, the smoke screen would be useless. Put it that way, not useless, but not optimized. So he has the gick, and then I think I'm in pretty good shape still, so I can get drains of again 2, 1, 1, ping for 3, retrieve with Baragwin. He's only going to drain for 4. And yeah, okay, it could be worse. I'm not sense. I think he concedes pretty quickly here. Go 3x. So, again, if anyone's in the retro event watching this, make sure you play out your games. Get to your 10 so you can get the maximum prize support. It's a bunch of things that are contingent on that. You go play someone who loves you to save Leia. Nice. I got a force back. He now has to consolidate because he has to respect. Well, party has to respect the gick, or respect the fact that he doesn't have a gick now, and I can beat him down. But he also not doing any damage here at the far. So, all right. So I win. Now I go to what is that? 4 and 3. Yeah, 4 and 3. I play Tony Duva, and then I play Newbods and Edward. So yeah, so 3 games left. We are at 104. I think a couple of these are pretty quick. Here, I'll go 3x. We're going to see some recurring themes here. I played, I guess, what did I do? I did Hunt Down, CCT, I did Hunt Down once or twice, and Throne Room once, and CCT 3-4 times. Yeah, so, why don't I go back down to that? All right, so I have a pretty sweet hand here. I got a Twix, I got Luke, I got Obi-Wan, I got, or not Obi-Wan, Ben, Bomar Monk. Although I lose this game, so that's smart of him to just move Mara out and just start chipping away with drains of 3, forcing me to react. Honor will protect me from Hunt Down, Lando and Falcon. I think I feel pretty good at this point, and I got Jerome Webb to go cancel Visage. He gets Docking Bay out, he puts Lord Vader out, flips. Again, I guess I didn't learn my lesson from playing against Desai, where I had my honor altered while he was on the 7 side. What am I doing? So I could draw. I guess I'm afraid I can't put Jerome there, knowing that he could get counter beat, or I guess Blount as well. And then I guess I'm taking patient because it doesn't look like he's going to contest the AC, which means I get 10 cards back. So I figured it was better to replenish my hand, get some answers. And be able to kind of think longer term. So the Bomar Monk comes out and Master Luke for free. And then I just draw. So I'll wait for him to do his damage and then retrieve. Obi and a Saber. I have a barrier in case he comes down with somebody with a weapon. Peel a couple cards, let him drain, and then I'm going to retrieve my 10 with OG Han. Yeah, Skywalkers, lightsaber proficiency, draw their fire, 2 controls, and good stuff coming back there. Hell yeah, okay, so this is where it's... So I guess I wonder if I had any inclination. I guess the walking movie. But yeah, now he's just going to start retrieving cards. He's got barely any cards in his lost pile. I mean, oh, and Boobo. Oh yeah, big mistake by me. So I'm going to lose a round of damage, which would have been, 1, 2, 3. And then I think I forget to battle Bubo too. So that was big. Barrier doesn't. If only barrier worked on creatures. Yeah. So deploy phase. Ben comes out. Ben Saber. Got a clash that I can play as a defensive move. Out comes Blount. This is a total misplay. I forget to battle Bubo. So, I mean, Han is okay now because he's at least power 4. But if I lose Bomar Monk, that kind of sucks because he's helped me add to the drain. Just go to alter. I figure it's probably not going to work. But yeah, he's going to get some damage through. Keep chipping away at my cards. Get some more ties out. He's got brilliant cards in his lost pile. He's got Janice. I barrier. And now he's got Hoth. Zuckuss. Bubo's going to attack. I fire. I miss with Han's gun. It's funny, there's a card. I was looking at like blasters. I think like the Black Sun Blaster can target a character and a vehicle, but not a creature. Whereas I think like the Crimson Dawn Blaster can target a creature. It's weird because all these weapons were like errated in the Decipher era to make sure they could target creatures. A lot of them couldn't do it initially, I think. Maybe I'm misremembering that, but it's funny, and now creatures are kind of back out since they're very, very rare. All right, so I hit Mara, I clash. Obi's going to die. And now I'm going to remember to attack Bubo this time and kill him. So I think all considered, he's at 31. I'm at like, let's see, what am I at? 12, like 32. So we're about even. But he's not going to have damage of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm only going to have damage of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I wonder what happens here. So I peel a bunch of cards. I can see Vader Saber that adds. Mar comes back. Maybe this is what swung it. Yeah, so he found the dreaded Starfleet, retreats 3 with the squadron. And this just looks bleak for me. Jerome's going to get beaten down. I'm going to have to burn my Hujix. And now he's got Mara there threatening another Drain of 2. Janice is going to cover up my Drain of 2 with the Med Chamber. And yeah, that was a big turn for him. I have a Leia and a Chewie I could deploy. I wonder if I just go for the blowout, figuring he's got to have a kick, right? Tunnel Vision. What do I get? Landing Claw? Oh, I can put Lando up there and detach and then ping with the objective. He cancels my drain. He does it in battle order, so that's kind of cool. Obi-Wan, or Ben comes out, and Leia. Draw 3, which is, this is brutal. Well, not brutal, because I'll just revive Leia. But Mara doesn't die. That would have been really big if I could have drawn a 4 there. I wonder if I knew that. Did I check that? Short range fighters. Yeah, he's going to get the retrieval then with the once per game retrieval. It is a no bueno. Yeah, these tie decks are a pain. Especially because I feel like Aim High was not nearly as popular as Secret Plans. And even then, some of these decks just activated so much with mob points that paying for it wasn't a big deal. So he gets 4 Lum down. He's going to be able to cancel Ben's text. Get some more TIE fighters out. With the squadron sending the 3 then and then enabling a whole nother round of that, that's huge. So I concede here when I'm at 13. He's at 23 down, so he's up 10. Plus another 5 in hand differential. So yeah, so that's not, I can cancel my drain. He's going to cycle that. This is going to not get better. So now I go to, what is that, 4 and 4? So 2 games left. I play against Nubods. And then against Edward. So coming up hour 11. I think we'll wrap this up in less than 90. That's pretty good for 10 games. All right, I'm playing my CCT. He's playing Prophet. Looks like I start Jabba. Just talking about this matchup not too long ago in the Slack chat. He gives me 10 num. Is that it? Oh, Baru Lars. Oh, this is... I think he's playing the deck with all the droids and really high destinies. This is an interesting deck. All right, so I put Carpentry for testing out. I put Fed out there to babysit. Hidden Weapons is my evasion. Yeah, he's got CZ4. He puts a gift. I don't know if I have any answers to a gift in the CCT. There's no Probot V or Utaguta V. I don't think I have any. I might have a sniper, but definitely not a sniper Dark Strike because that's not in the format. All right, Zamara's Saber comes out. I'm going to throw out another docking bay. Let's speed this up. Fett picks up the captive, moves to the carbonite chamber. I got Search and Destroy so I can start putting some pressure on him. Got another Mara. I prepare the chamber. Here comes R2. Yeah, I think I got a bunch of evasion. We fight over the carbonite chamber, I think, a bunch in this game. So now my turn, I come down with IG88. Dan, so I can get the extra battle destiny since now I have 4 plus IG88. I hit in weapons and hit Obi. And Obi swings at Dan's. I go to try to capture. He plays Droid Shutdown to prevent IG88. I draw 1. Or is that 2? A 4 that becomes a 2. Oof. Yes, my battle destiny didn't do too well, but I think I'm able to. No. R2 sticks around. I lose my 2 other battling honors. Don't have my hidden weapons, but I do have a barrier. 4. And I'm not flipped. This is Han. Why aren't I flipped? What's the rule? Oh, because I don't have Jabba's Prize, but Jabba's Prize doesn't exist. I guess it's the interaction of these 2 decks back in this format. Yeah, I have to look at it real quick. So, doesn't this say something about? Oh, come on, why don't you work? Yeah, profit is there. Flip this card if you move a captive. Yeah, so this doesn't. Maybe is it profit that talks about it? Huh. So it doesn't talk. I think maybe it's Jabba's Prize from Reflections 2 that has all the. Maybe that was created to eliminate some of this kind of weirdness of the matchup. So I get Search and Destroy out, which is going to pick him for at least 1 because he's got characters of 5 and 6. Run away with Fett because I don't have any evasion. Hope to dig for some. And I don't really find it. So he's only got 5 cards in hand though. So Mara, now I'm going to try to get her to start draining for 3. Or I guess it would be 2 because of the gift. I lose my U3PO, which would be very helpful in this matchup. Just put out the carbonite chamber. He replenishes his hand. Let me speed up the. So I got some cards here to reinforce. I'm only activating 11. I can drain for 2, activate because of Jabba. There's no battle plan out. Scum comes out. Boelo to reinforce my audience chamber. Outer Rim Scout to back up Boba Fett. And I got drawn to a barrier, which is big, and a projective, and a hidden weapons. So now I'm cooking here. I got the UR beaten 2. I can play that defensively if I need to. For Mara, he's going to drain for another 2. And Entrance Cavern. I like this site, but the fact that it's exterior and interior. Dark side can put a walker there. It'd be nice because it's a force drain +1 for light side. Thought for a minute of putting that in my open profit, but if it's an interior site that or exterior, I don't like that. That's one of the best benefits of the antechamber is that it's interior. All right, so he loses another CZ3. I drain for 0, but activate a force because of Jabba. So a time where it makes sense to drain for 0. I then draw past 12, get some more characters. Maybe I'm digging for the second U3PO. I don't know what I was digging for, but now I got 19 cards in my hand. And I feel like I'm in pretty good shape with the audience chamber, even though my battle destinies are going to be -2, but I got all this evasion stuff. So it's not come C3PO, the OG C3PO, and Ben Kenobi. I barrier Ben. And he's going to move in front of me. He satisfies Search and Destroy now. Did I satisfy Resistance? Which I remember to move U3PO over, which is good. But now Jodo cast. Remember, I got hidden weapons. I got all sorts of fun stuff. Let's see, Bane Malar. I can do the mind scan thanks to Adam for coding this. I mind scan Chewie to add 6 power. Oh, why should I slow this down? This is fun. Hold on, wait. I operate what did I hit? Oh yeah, I hit with hidden weapons and then I operate with the Bosin, which is big. So now he gets no battle. Or he gets one battle destiny because Chewie adds with ECC Chewie adds with C3PO. But so he added commissions my slave 1. Draw a barrier, becomes a 2 for battle destiny, and then a 3 which becomes a 1. He's getting all these benefits from R2D2. And he draws a 5, which I can cancel. Yeah, so I'm just going to lose one guy here. And he needs to lose, what, 3PO is 3, and Chewie is 5. I'm pretty sure. This is all your fault. Cancel attrition, but why would he do that? He's got to lose Chewie anyway, so that's maybe just been a misplay. And then he loses 2 more. This is all your fault. Wow. This is all your fault deck. And I got a few more force now. I'm guessing, do I run away from Luke? Probably, right? Try to get this freeze through. Let me speed this back up now that we're not having a fun battle. Yeah, so I run away here. Save the 1 force so I can move you 3PO. Oh, it wouldn't surprise me if I forget. He deploys Chewie, not positive why. He definitely turns all Search and Destroy, which is big. Goes for out of commission, gets my U3PO. It's a pretty good card to get, but I already have the second one on the table, so. Get the Mara Drain through, activate. Look at only card in my reserve is a 1, or is that what I just saw? I don't know what I just saw. Zuckus. And I just stack, or put some reinforcements here with Feltapern. Although is this while no droid present, or while you're droid? While no droid present. So that he's not causing any extra force. But I do play Projective. He's got to use it. And now he's got 2 less still. Red Leader 1. Droid shutdown to prevent me from shooting R2. I should have just gone for Wedge. And he concedes here. He's got 17 to my 14, so he's up. He's down 9 in hand. So I'm up a few. Guess I just have Borkin. He just covered me up here with Bosch, though, so I don't know. Maybe he's just afraid I'm going to be able to finally get the carbon freeze through. Am I able to track anything? I don't even know. Okay, so now I'm 5-4. Final game. Alright, final game versus Edward. And this is a... Stuck with the CCT. I like playing the CCT flip. So he's playing EBO. What was the rebel that I got? Game 10. I'm 5-4. Really want to finish with on a high note. Gives me Luke, which means that he probably doesn't have many other options. Like, I guess that maybe signals to me that it's like an EBO X, and it's just got like a splashable EPP Luke. And then I have a Gick, a Resistance, a FET. I upload carbon freezing. Put that out. Not too worried about him putting a spy. So I just get Jabba out and figure I could start getting drains through and activating. He plays the signal, grabs strike planning, gets a couple sites out. As he can upload some generals now. X-Wing Cannon, I get FET. Try U3PO. So you go. Alright, we'll come down the home stretch here. So thanks to anyone who watched this live or on replay. The retro event, the qualifying term will end on May 10th, and then the top 8 will commence with some match play. So we're going to look into the stream team and the marketing team looking to cover those games and matches, which would be good. Have them on the YouTube channel and promote them and do some fun stuff with them as I get Gaelid out here. So look out for them. That'll be the second half of May. And I think we had a lot of people sign up. Not everyone played their games, as expected. I think we're just under 100 to play any games, and there's been a decent amount that have gone all 10 so far, and we have 4 days left. So hopefully as many people max out as possible. He's got the X-Wing down here. He's got EBO out. The barrier's big for Obi. He's got Honor to protect from, I guess, a couple different things, like the freeze, for example. Passes the turn. I don't have a hidden weapons here. He's got a bunch of cards in hand, so limited resources isn't going to be helpful quite yet. I will drain, activate. He peels a Yarna. Again, more. Okay, so now it's definitely like the X-Wing deck. It's got Rebel Fleet. I just throw U3PO down, and I guess I don't feel confident in fighting, so I just move Boba back. I attempt to revert. I think I want to move the other site, and he graciously allows me to. Yeah. Yeah, because I think part of the point there was me to activate resistance and then find some evasion, which I don't know if I did. So he goes and grabs X-Wings. Do I have a Monarch? I think I hit him with a Monarch at some point. Maybe not, though. You see some of these decks, some of the decks in this format have 2 Monarchs. Which a card is just, yeah, it's a powerful card when in the right time and place. So he's just throwing X-Wings out. Maybe a little bit of an over deploy here. He gets the, I don't know if he rushed this retrieval. He might have been able to get some more out even and maximize it. Maybe he's trying to get that through before I get Secret Plans out, perhaps. Masterful move into a Monarch. He's got 12 cards in hand. And let's see. Yes, I do play the Monarch. This is now my turn 5. He plays Wind Chimes, grabs a Baragwin. I play Monarch. And wow. All right, so I get 2 out of nowheres. And that's it. But home 1, it looks like I see that he has no ground or no more other ground. He's got a Baragwin, though. One of the fun things about this game, you get things like characters like Baragwins that can be really powerful. or really helpful, I should say. Maybe not powerful, is the wrong word. So I throw Vader down. I don't know what my plan there was exactly. He's going to now drain for 2 and 2. I am not retrieving. Don't have Scum out. Maybe he buried my Vader. I don't know what happened there, but I would have known that he had it, right? Yeah. Maybe I was just trying to get through that. Deploys more X-Wings. Moves under the shield. And coming down the home stretch here. So this is my turn 6. I have Bane Malar and Chow. Get a drain of 2 through thanks to Galed. He's got a lot of cards on the table, so I have like 37 total. He's got like 23. So yeah, I'm up a lot in terms of cards. I guess I check if I can grab an Outer Rim Scout, which I just throw Scum out, which isn't canceled. It's definitely not active because Vader is out. I'll suicide Vader here. I draw 6 of 4. Obi's hit. He hits me. And then I play Yorbean, just I guess maybe to make sure I don't take any overflow. Although I have a Gick. That probably wasn't a good move. Maybe I wanted to hold on to my Gick. Alright, Jodo goes to Cloud City. Fett goes back to the chamber, threatening to do the freeze. Draw a bunch of cards. And if I get the freeze through, and then I got limited resources, I'm on 3 battlegrounds, so I can get around Honor. This, he's got some serious strains here of 2/2/2, but I think I'm at the point now where, and I guess I could play this. I should play this any math is necessary and track it, right? What if I do that? Am I smart enough to do that? There's the Baragwin down. Moves to Donna. Yeah, I don't think he'd do this play again. I think he not much to gain by doing that. It's not like battle plan's out. Blocking the drain on 1 isn't huge, unless he's just like, I gotta stop that. Maybe I hope that he doesn't. Maybe I tracked around the 4. Not sure what I did, but I freeze for the 8. And let's say he's got to lose a bunch from hand, probably be able to do anything, but that he might get backed into my limited resources then. So that's it. So I finished 6 and 4. I like the CCT deck. I guess if I do the math real quick, I ended up finishing, let's see, 1-2-0 with the CCT, 3-0 with the CCT. Did I really go 4-0? Yeah, I went 4-0 with the CCT, 0-1 with Hunt Down, 0-1 with Throne Room, and 2-2 with Profit. Okay. All right. So that was my retro event experience, my tournament report. It's from the tournament organizer. I hope that everyone's having fun doing the event, had fun doing the event. I'm looking forward to doing some more of these. Maybe next time we do it with a little bit of stakes and different format, and maybe do it Swiss style. A couple things to learn. This event, I definitely wanted to make it free and accessible to people, and but hopefully in the future, given the benefits that GIMP allows for and how easy it is to make decks, test different decks, and play and organize these events, knowing that they can pull in people from all over the world, really. All right, so with that, I will wrap up. Thank you for watching. This has been episode 12 of JNap's That Time I series, where I did a 10-game tournament report of my 2021 retro event games. Everyone take care. Talk to you guys later. Thanks again for watching.